Why is it so hard to walk away from a narcissist? Because a part of you still believes that if you suffer a little more, they will finally love you the way you deserve. You know that feeling when you stare at your phone, hoping for a message from someone who already proved they don't care. Your chest is tight, your mind is noisy, and yet you still wait, like a sailor staring at a stormy horizon, praying the waves will suddenly turn gentle. You tell yourself, just one more chance, maybe this time will be different. But deep down, you already know the truth. Nothing changes except how much of yourself you lose each time you stay. This is the quiet prison of the narcissist's grip, a cage without visible bars, built inside your own thoughts. A narcissist doesn't just enter your life, they colonize it. At first, they arrive like sunshine after a long winter, warming every frozen corner of your heart. They mirror your dreams, your fears, your wounds, and make you feel seen in a way that almost hurts. Then slowly, they begin to rewrite the script. Your value depends on their moods, your peace depends on their approval. You don't notice the chains being forged because they're made of compliments, promises, and half-truths. The hardest chains to break are not the ones on your wrists, but the ones on your perception. A narcissist twists reality like wind bending a tree on a cliff until you doubt your own roots. They make you question your memory, your reactions, your right to feel hurt. One day you catch yourself apologizing for their cruelty just to keep the peace for a few more hours. In that moment, you're no longer living your life, you're managing their storms. You don't stay because you are weak, you stay because you are loyal. You keep trying because you once saw a glimpse of who they could be, and you cannot let that image die. You confuse your endurance with virtue, your suffering with love, your silence with strength. But endurance without boundaries is not wisdom, it is self-abandonment dressed as patience. The Stoic truth is harsh. What you allow, you silently teach others to repeat. Walking away feels like standing at the edge of a dark forest at night. You don't know what waits inside, but you know exactly what hurts behind you. So you tell yourself, at least I know this pain. New pain might be worse. Yet every day you stay, the forest grows thicker around you, and the path back to yourself fades. To leave a narcissist, you must do something terrifying. Choose the unknown over the familiar wound. A narcissist studies your wounds like a hunter studies tracks in the snow. They notice the way your eyes dim when you feel ignored, the way your voice trembles when you fear abandonment. Then they offer exactly what you crave: attention, intensity, a sense of being chosen. This is not love, it is strategy, a calculated storm to erode your defenses. Once your walls fall, they build their throne on the ruins of your self-trust. They train you like the sea trains a shipwrecked sailor, scraps of approval between long stretches of emotional hunger. One day they praise you, the next they punish you with silence or contempt. Your nervous system becomes addicted to the cycle. Pain, then relief, pain, then relief. You start chasing the brief moments of tenderness as proof that the nightmare isn't real. This is why you feel stuck. You are not just attached to the person, you're addicted to the pattern. From a Stoic view, the core problem is not the narcissist's chaos, but your dependence on their verdict about who you are. You have handed them the judge's seat in the courtroom of your own mind. Their approval becomes your weather. If they smile, it's summer. If they scowl, it's winter. You forget that the true climate of your soul is supposed to come from your principles, not from another person's moods. The wise see this clearly. Whoever controls your emotions owns your life. The narcissist thrives because you negotiate with what should be non-negotiable. Respect becomes optional, honesty becomes flexible, your boundaries become suggestions instead of laws. You tell yourself, no one is perfect. I just need to be more understanding, while swallowing disrespect like bitter medicine. But understanding without limits becomes self-betrayal, and forgiveness without change becomes self-harm. Stoicism demands something harsher and cleaner, a line with reality, not with excuses. Leaving feels impossible because your identity has grown around them like a tree, twisted by constant wind. You wonder, who am I if I am not trying to fix them? Who am I if I stop proving my worth? The answer is frightening, because it requires rebuilding from the ground up, without their voice as your compass. Yet this is the sacred task of the Stoic, to stand like a mountain, shaped by storms, but not defined by them. You do not escape a narcissist by changing them. You escape by remembering you were never their property. The first prison is not their house, their presence, or their messages. The first prison is the story playing in your mind. Maybe I'm too sensitive, maybe I expect too much. You replay every argument, searching for the one sentence that proves you were the problem. This constant self-interrogation is exactly what keeps you tied to them. A Stoic must ask a different question. What do the facts show when I remove my hope and look with cold clarity? Facts are like mountains, solid, silent, indifferent to your wishes. Did they lie? Did they humiliate you? Did they mock your feelings, then call you dramatic? These are not opinions, they are events, carved in time like rock faces. The more you cling to the fantasy of who they could be, the more you turn away from the mountain of what they are. Wisdom begins the moment you choose the rock of reality over the fog of illusion. Understand this: a narcissist fears responsibility like fire, so they throw it at you to avoid being burned. Every time something goes wrong, suddenly it is your fault. Your tone, your timing, your reaction. They shatter the glass and then accuse you of bleeding on the floor. Over time, you start cleaning every mess, emotionally and mentally, just to avoid conflict. But a life spent walking on eggshells is not peace. It is slow, spiritual suffocation. From a Stoic perspective, the turning point is brutal honesty with yourself. Ask, if a stranger described my relationship to me, would I tell them to stay or to run? This exercise rips you out of the trance and places you in the role of the wise advisor, not the desperate lover. You begin to see that what you call compromise is often just you shrinking so they can feel big. In that clarity, the spell weakens because you finally name what is happening without sugarcoating it. You do not need their apology to reclaim your life. You do not need closure, understanding, or a perfect final conversation where they admit everything. That is just another form of waiting for them to be someone they are not. The Stoic path is colder but cleaner. You close the door from your side because your values demand it. You walk away not because it feels good, but because it is right. Leaving a narcissist is not one decision, it is 100 decisions made in the dark. You decide to ignore their message, then your chest tightens and you reach for the phone again. You block them, then unblock them, then check if they have posted something that might be about you. You feel pathetic for going back, but you also feel terrified of closing the door forever. This inner war is not a sign of failure. It is proof that you are trying to break a very deep attachment. Think of metal in a forge. For years, your sense of self has been hammered by criticism, heated by drama, cooled by brief moments of affection. No wonder you feel bent, confused, and fragile when you imagine standing alone. But in the forge, the heat is not the end of the metal. It is the process that reveals its true strength. Your fear and trembling now are not your identity. They are the noise of old patterns dying. The Stoics teach that freedom begins where dependency ends. As long as your mood rises and falls with their attention, you are not free, you are leashed. To walk away, you must choose a different center of gravity, your character, not their opinion. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be, regardless of what they think of me? Every time you act according to that answer, the chain around your neck loosens a little more. You will miss them, but often what you miss is not them. It is the intensity, the drama, the distraction from your own emptiness. In the silence after leaving, you finally hear the echo of your neglected life. Projects abandoned, friendships faded, dreams postponed. This silence feels like loneliness, but it is actually room, space to rebuild, space to breathe. A narcissist fills that space with noise, so you never notice what is missing. When you leave, the quiet is painful at first, then slowly becomes sacred. Understand this: no one walks out of the storm without scars. You will doubt yourself, you will remember only the good moments, you will wonder if you overreacted. That is why you must hold on to principles like a climber grips the rock on a steep wall. You left because your dignity is not negotiable, your peace is not a luxury, and your soul is not a toy. In time, the question will change from "why did I leave?" to "how did I ever accept so little?" There comes a day when the pain of staying finally outweighs the fear of leaving. It doesn't feel heroic. It feels like collapse. You are exhausted, shaking, maybe crying in a room that suddenly feels too small for your suffering. And then a simple, brutal thought appears. I cannot live like this anymore. That thought is the first stone of your new life being set in place. Healing after a narcissist is not a straight path up a sunny hill. It is more like climbing a mountain in the fog. Some days you feel strong and proud. Other days you slip on old memories and tumble back into doubt. You might miss their voice, their presence, the way chaos distracted you from your own emptiness. But each time you refuse to return, you are laying down a new identity, a person who does not trade peace for intensity. Every no you whisper to the past is a yes to a calmer, clearer future. The Stoic truth is this: your value never depended on their ability to see it. A gem dropped in the mud is still a gem. It does not become trash because someone treated it like garbage. Your worth is rooted in your capacity for reason, courage, justice, and self-control. Traits no one can take unless you surrender them. The narcissist attacked these pillars, but they could not destroy them. They only buried them under confusion. Your work now is to uncover them patiently, like an archaeologist brushing dust from ancient stone. You rebuild by choosing small, disciplined actions that honor who you want to become. You speak to yourself with the respect you once begged from them. You set boundaries not as walls of anger, but as lines of clarity. What enters your life must align with your values. You invest in friendships, work, and habits that make you steadier, not more desperate. Over time, your life starts to feel less like a stormy sea and more like a quiet harbor. One day, you will think of them and feel nothing sharp, not the old hunger, not the old rage, just a distant recognition, like seeing a ship far away on the horizon. You will realize that walking away was not the end of your story, but the beginning of your character. The narcissist was not your fate. They were a harsh teacher that showed you where you had abandoned yourself. From here on, your task is simple and hard. Never again give anyone the power you once placed in their hands.